Hi, I'm here to talk about my new collection, which is called Epik Drums, a Ken Scott collection, which is out through Sonic Reality. What we've done is I got together with 5 of the drummers that I'd worked with over the years, and we've recreated the drum sounds that we got on the original recordings as closely as we possibly could in a digital format for people to use at home, in the studio, or wherever. The drummers were Woody Woodmansey from the David Bowie band Spiders from Mars. There was Bob Siedenberg from Supertramp. There was Rod Morgenstein, who's with me here today, from the Dixie Dregs. Terry Bozzio, Missing Persons, and the amazing Billy Cobham from Mahavishnu Orchestra and his solo recordings. What we did, first and foremost, found the drummers. They all joined in and were more than willing to help out on this. We then had to try and find studios that had Trident A-range boards, which was the kind of board that I used for every one of the drummers at one point or another. Then it was finding studios that had Trident A-range boards that acoustically matched up to the setup we would have had when recording the band. Then it was the mics. They had to be the same. The drums we rented through Drum Doctors in LA as closely as we could to the original kits, which for some of them it was easy. Bozzio, he still had his Rototom kit, so that was very easy. Cobham's kit was the hardest because he used Fibes kits, and they're no longer in existence. Rod also used Fibes. Rod's was a little easier. Billy's was clear acrylic, and very hard to find these days, but we got as close as we could and matched it up. What I did, I had the drummers play along with their original tracks to match the sounds. Then I just had them play along so we could get grooves from exactly the same as the recordings. Then just had them jam, and they just played their asses off. It was amazing. It was great. So it was fascinating for me because every one of the drummers had moved on. Style, technique, drum kits especially, were very different, and they had to somehow get back to their mindset from those days, which was interesting for me, and I don't know exactly how it was for the drummers. Why don't we find out from Rod what it was like from him?
Yeah, Ken had asked me to learn somewhere between 8 and 10 songs from the 2 Dixie Dregs records that we had done with him, What If and Night of the Living Dregs. Some of the songs were relatively easy for me because the Dixie Dregs is still an active band. We tour every couple of years, and we still will occasionally do some of those specific songs. There were a few other tunes that we hadn't done in the 20-25 years since these records were recorded, and so that took a little bit more time to learn. So now, when we did the recording, the easy part was playing along with the original recording, and I kind of played it pretty much how I had played it back then. I don't think you really forget some of your grooves and specific fills that you played. But then, after I played along with the recording, Ken then said, all right, now here's a click track. Try to remember the form of the song in your head and play along with it to the best of your recollection, but just with one added extra challenge, and that is when you finish a drum fill, you cannot crash a cymbal into the downbeat of the next phrase, which if you play drums, you'll certainly understand how difficult a task that is. It's nearly impossible to go around a drum set doing something wild and then not, finishing your statement with the big kabang, so that was quite a challenge. It was funny at first, and then I, eventually got it and was able to make it through the songs that way. And then Ken said, look, when you complete the song, if you're still feeling something, just continue jamming as long as you like. So sometimes I think I'd continue playing another 5 or 10 minutes, and then the poor guys at Sonic Reality over the past year and a half have had to sort through the hours of drumming that all of us did to kind of come up with the best few bars to make all of the different loops and things that are part of this project.
I come from a background, I go back so far, almost to the Stone Age, but not quite, where I started off recording 4-track. So we had to make decisions back then on how the sound was going to be right from the get-go. And to do that, we had to make sure that the sound was right in the studio in the first place. So much of what I see today is, okay, we'll get a rough sound in the studio and then we'll doctor it in the control room. That to me is completely the wrong way round. It's trying to make a silk purse out of a sow's ear. It always starts both sound-wise and artistically in the studio. That's where it has to happen. And then from there on, it becomes very easy in the control room to, you don't have to do much, and hopefully you're just taking an incredible performance, an incredible sound, and just making it that much better. So for me, I guess, it starts with the talent, the drummer, and the drum kit. Then would be the mics, and from then on, it should be easy.